Hello, I'm Irfan, and today I'll highlight some important points on life skills A1 test. As you know, this is SEFR A1 test. It means it's a test of English on the elementary level, and it's conducted basically for the immigration purpose, for spouse visa especially. People who go on the sponsorship of their spouse, and they take this test, and this is a pass-fail test. There are no bands in it, and after the assessment, a candidate is passed or a candidate is failed in the test. And this test is basically an elementary. It's not very difficult test, so you need to practice this test. Basically, need to know about the format about this test. Two skills are assessed in this A1 level test, and those skills are speaking and listening. Speaking is almost 75% of the test, and listening makes 25% of the test. And this test, in this life skills A1 test, there are 4 parts. And first part is about the interview, and there is a live examiner, trained examiner, IELTS examiner, who conducts an interview and asks the basic questions like what's your full name, how do you spell your name, and describe about your house, and tell me something about your siblings. Okay, what's the profession of your spouse, and tell me about the area, the place where you live, where do you come from, what's your surname. Okay. Such type of questions are asked, and they ask about the ID. You're supposed to show them the ID which you carry with you. Okay, so these are some basic questions of part 1 of the test. And this test is not tough, just you need to practice, and you need to actually make them understand what you want to express, and the questions which you ask and the answers which you give should make sense. Okay, and a candidate should know how to develop the sentence structures, and that's all. Listening also mean, in listening you should understand what native speakers say, then the examiner asks questions on that. So this test is about 11 to 15 minutes, and B1 test is maximum 20 to 22 minutes, not more than that. And part 1, it's an interview, and a candidate sits in front of the examiner asks the questions to the candidates, and then part 2 is pair work. 2 candidates sit together, and in part 2 they're given 2 different topics, and they're required to ask questions and answer the questions. One candidate asks the question to the other, and then vice versa. Okay, and there are 2 different topics in part 2. Topics may be shopping, mobile phones, vacation, traveling, people, morning, and there may be markets, can be the topic as well, and so many topics, television, okay, education, culture, etc., etc. So all these are the topics which may be given, and these are the topics with which candidates are familiar. These are not difficult topics. Candidates are required to just develop the questions and comprehend the questions very well, and then answer accordingly. And like some students have the fear of the test, so they get nervous there while taking the test. And so there is no need to be nervous. Just be calm and relax. Okay, just think about your performance, because there are 2 things which are very important. One is performance, and other is your ability. Many candidates are having the talent, the required ability, but they can't perform very well on that day of the test. Many students just get confused, and they are not able to do very well in the test, or well in the test, so they are in trouble then. Okay, And part 3 of the test is the listening section. In this section, there are 2 clips played, audio clips, and native speakers talk in those clips. And 2 clips, one clip is of 30 seconds, so 2 clips almost make 60 seconds recording. And in these 2 recordings, okay, again the two candidates listen to these recordings and examine that after playing the recordings. When recordings are finished, ask the questions to the candidates, and candidates are supposed to answer the questions, at least 2 questions in each clip. Okay, and it needs practice because some students, this is elementary level test, so your educational background is not very strong, so you face difficulty in understanding the accent or the pronunciation even. So before taking the test, you need a lot of practice. Listen to audio clips and native speakers talking to each other, so that you have good enough practice, and when you go for the test, you don't have any fear and you do well in the test. As far as part 4 is concerned, part 4, again it's a pair work. 2 candidates sit together, examiner give them a topic. The topic is same for both the candidates, and then they ask questions, like they develop a conversation on that topic. Okay, it's asking questions and response on the question, then the replying. It's like developing a talk on that topic. Okay, so sentence structure should be fine, your vocab should be good, the concept should be clear. Okay, at least should make understand other what you want to say, and the same level you understand what others speak in English. Okay, so these are 4 parts. And when this test is over, after that there is an assessment on the test, and there is pass or fail for the test. And but many students, they don't practice it before taking the test, and then they face problems in the test, because it's very important to know about the format. If you know about the pattern of the test, then you can do very well in the test. So this is my advice to you, that when you go for the test, before that prepare very well for IELTS Life Skills A1 test. Okay, that was a piece of advice from me, and thank you.